Listen, guys, I need a performance. I know Barcelona, we are through to the semifinals of the Champions League for the first time, right? Since 2019. But the game against Borussia Dortmund, we lost 3-1. And honestly, it could have been more if it wasn't for Szczesny. Honestly, the game against Leganes outplayed us. And FC Barcelona in the last 3 or 4 games have played really bad but got results. FC Barcelona, the game that we are going to talk about, previewing this Celta Vigo game in La Liga, we need to get a performance and the result. I know the result is all that matters at this stage of the season, but I'm trying to see a performance also. But guys, make sure to like up this video. 15 likes is the target. And also subscribe if you are new. Road to 900 subs. We are getting closer there. But guys, let's get straight into it. Because FC Barcelona, we are playing at home, right, at the Olympic Stadium. We are in Barcelona. We have a lot of home games left to end off this La Liga campaign. The game's going to be on Saturday, 4:15 local time, and I'm thinking that we just need to win this game because I told you guys, obviously, in many videos in the past that ultimately the only thing that matters at this stage of the season is the result. But I need a confidence, right? I might be greedy, but the thing is that not only has Celta Vigo been one of the teams that have beaten us 2-2 in the head-to-head last time out. Actually, we played decently well. I thought we played good enough to win, but a couple mistakes, and it was a late debacle by FC Barcelona. So I want to see some of these players, right, in the tunnel. I want them to be looking for revenge, right, make amends, and FC Barcelona to get 3 points this time around. Last time, obviously, Raphinha and Lewandowski scored goals, but man, FC Barcelona, I feel like that we're due for a performance, right? Against Dortmund, I was shocked. And honestly, guys, that game against Dortmund kind of scared me. Like, is this team tired? But we rested players. I feel like that this Barcelona team, I didn't like the message. I didn't like the mentality that I seen the other day. I might let them slide, but only if the next 2 or 3 games we have very good performances. And I need to see one for the confidence of this team. But if we are going to look at this La Liga table and check out where Celta Vigo are currently on 7th place. Like, you guys can see it. They won 3 out of their last 5 teams. To be fair, they're beat up on the minnows of La Liga, but they are having a very, very good season for their standards. I usually, recognize Celta Vigo as a mid-table team. I would say around 11th place, 12th place. Obviously, Iago Aspas, that guy's been balling out for almost a decade, if not longer, right? Iago Aspas, by the way, against FC Barcelona, time and time again, this guy turns into Maradona. This guy, Iago Aspas, when he sees Barcelona, time and time again, in the Messi era, when we had Messi and Suarez, Iago Aspas would step up. But listen, I hope that we can neutralize him, right? But I also want to show you guys FC Barcelona's form because we have drew to Real Betis. I already mentioned the one game that we played very good out of the last 4 was Borussia Dortmund at home in the first leg. Obviously, if we didn't play well, I feel like that we might have actually got eliminated from the Champions League, right? Leganes, we didn't play good, but an own goal, lucky, right? And FC Barcelona got another own goal for them, right? Against Borussia Dortmund in that 3-1 loss. So out of the last 4 games, only one good performance, right? Obviously, we still went through in the Champions League, and we still got the dub versus Leganes. But in my opinion, I just think that this team, we have so much more to offer, and I want this team to start peaking now because I feel like that we kind of dipped in the last couple weeks. And I think that, man, some of our players, right, when we're talking about Raphinha, when we're talking about Robert Lewandowski, some of these guys need to show up. Matter of fact, I think some of them might need to be rested, but I don't know if this is the game for it. But I will say this, Robert Lewandowski, Raphinha, Frankie de Jong, Fermin Lopez, right? Guys, I have to say this. Fermin Lopez, Frankie de Jong, right? Raphinha, Lewandowski. So many guys disappointed me. Ronald Araujo, right? Jules Koundé even. Szczesny was probably one of the only good players that we had against Borussia Dortmund. I think that, honestly, you could say 7, 8 players on this FC Barcelona team need to make amends. They got to step up. And Hansi Flick, I'm sure that he's telling these guys, hey, we got lucky against Dortmund, right? We got lucky to get that own goal. And this time, man, I'm serious when I'm talking about we need a performance because that was simply not good enough, right? We haven't been in the UCL semis since 2019, and you guys have the opportunity to book your ticket there, and the performance was so lackluster. But listen, if I was Hansi Flick, right, this is actually what I would go out with Ultimately, I am trying to stay kind of realistic too. Szczęsny obviously is going to be the number one. He played amazing against Dortmund for me. Cabarsi, I think, has to go back in the lineup. He was actually solid, right? Inigo Martinez, in my opinion, our best defender this year, right? I know Cabarsi's young and everybody loves him. Ronald Araujo has had too many mistakes. I don't know why. He's had that long-term injury at the start of the season, right? Inigo Martinez has been spectacular. Gerard Martin, he actually had a decent game compared to many others against Dortmund. I think that Gerard Martin obviously has to play. He's the only left-back option that we have until Alejandro Balde comes back in a couple weeks. Jules Koundé, listen, guys, Jules Koundé plays every single game. Let's be real. Hector Fort hasn't had a sniff, so Koundé probably will be starting. Let's be real. For me, guys, Frankie de Jong was not good against Dortmund. In my opinion, I said personally, it's not hate. I think he was the worst player on the pitch. Some people said Ronald Araujo, but I'm saying that is just because of the mistakes. From start to finish, Fermin and Frankie de Jong are the two guys that I'm looking at. You guys have to have a good performance. And matter of fact, speaking about Fermin Lopez, I think that honestly, Pablo Torre should be starting this game. But since Torre hasn't played any minutes, and I don't think Flick trusts him, honestly, that is my educated guess, I'm going to start Fermin because I think it's realistic. But Fermin Lopez, if I'm being real, I would like Dani Olmo to play this game. But I'm saving him for Mallorca. I'm saving him for Inter Milan, right? Because we are going to play them in the UCL semis. Fermin Lopez, he has to deliver this game. Raphinha, Lamine Yamal, right? These guys need to play better, but at least these guys have played very, very good majority of the time. But they got to turn up also. And I would give Ferran Torres, the Shark, right? Guys, it's been Shark season, and I want to see Ferran in for Robert Lewandowski. I want to try it one more time, and I think that Ferran, for the most part, he's played well, and I think that he would actually do very well against Celta Vigo. They do like to play. And guys, honestly, when I'm looking at this lineup, man, some of these players, I'll be real, I feel bad for them. I wish Jan Laporta went out in the transfer window and bought a couple more players instead of just having Olmo and Pau Victor, really. Because Lamine Yamal, Koundé, Pedri, Raphinha, those four players off the bat, they never get rested. Even Alejandro Balde, he gets a little bit rested than these guys. But many players don't get rested. And Hansi Flick, man, listen, every single game in this season matters. 7 more games in La Liga, 3 potentially in the UCL, 1 Copa del Rey final. Guys, I don't know if there's time for rest. The time for rest was before this point of the season. But guys, listen, I actually will be going for a prediction of 4-1. I do think the boys, they are going to come out and play well. I am predicting 4-1. And I think that, you know what? I think Ferran Torres is going to score. That is also another prediction. But let me know down below in the comments down below. What do you guys think the score prediction will be? Who do you think is going to score and play good? Man, I hope Hansi Flick, if we have a lead, please sub out Yamal. Please sub out Pedri. Sub out some of these guys who never get rest. And guys, listen, that's it for me. We'll be there on the watch along, and I will see y'all in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.